Aerial shot of the City of London. Glorious warm conditions again for the final day of the Friends Life Tour of Britain. Two stages to be decided today. A time trial, one lap of the city centre circuit of 8.8 kilometres, and then a circuit race later. The final throw of the dice then for anybody to dislodge the overall leader, Dylan van Baarle. Bradley Wiggins, the winner of the Tour last year, the Olympic gold medalist for the time trial, came in to record a sensational time of 9:50, the fastest time in the time trial. Then it was Kwiatkowski that challenged, but both of those times were not good enough to take the yellow jersey away from the Dutchman, Dylan van Baarle. He dug deep, and as he got to the end, his time was good enough to keep him well and truly in the yellow jersey. So the overall standings then, with one stage to go, meant that Van Baarle was leading by 10 seconds ahead of Kwiatkowski, and Bradley Wiggins third at 22 seconds. So one stage to go, and that was the city centre race. They would race 10 laps around the 8.8 kilometre circuit, and they rolled away, and the massive crowd were looking forward to a very, very high-octane competition. The criterium didn't disappoint, and quickly riders were trying to get clear as they fancied their chances of distancing themselves. Alex Dowsett once again on the attack. He was no doubt trying to pick up points in the Yodel Direct Sprint Jersey competition, because he only trailed the leader, Sebastian Lander of BMC, the Danish rider, by 2 points. So if he could have stayed clear, the points that he would have gained could have given him that competition. But a chase from behind was whipped up by Sky and BMC, and they brought the group back. The competition eventually being decided in that Yodel Direct Sprint competition by Sebastian Lander. Then a group formed and went clear, and they stayed away for quite a long time. In the group, looking pretty good, was the young rider from the Great Britain team. He stayed clear nearly all the stage, and that was Chris Latham, the 20-year-old, and he had with him for company Jan Barton, number 142. Latham at the back of the group. They worked well consistently. Liam Holohan was in, and then all of a sudden the winner of the King of the Mountains, Mark McNally, touched the wheel of Barta, and down he went very, very heavy indeed. Fortunately, he was able to carry on, but it then depleted the leading group of 5 down to 4. And these 4 carried on for most of the rest of the stage until eventually they came down to 3. And then it was Andreas Stoff, the German on MTN Quebecer, that took off and joined the leading group. It was an easy day in the peloton for the yellow jersey, Dylan van Baarle. He was looked after very well indeed by his squad of Garmin Sharp. These two decided to sit up. That was Cummings and Barta. They felt that they'd contributed enough at the front, and they went back to the peloton, leaving the 3 out in front. Andreas Storff of MTN Quebecer, who bridged to Chris Latham of Great Britain, and Liam Holohan of Madison Genesis. And they more or less hung on in the closing stages to eventually be absorbed, and then everybody was beginning to lick their lips at the thought of the final sprint to see whether we were going to see a head-to-head and the horns being locked in the final sprint for Mark Cavendish and Marcel Kittel. It was Mark Renshaw that led into the final corner, with Kittel in second position, and Cavendish, the Manx missile, coming up to challenge Kittel. This is where Renshaw swung over. Then it was Kittel that took over, and on the left it was Cavendish, and Cavendish actually got his nose just in front of Kittel as the line came nearer, but it was the big German that had the extra strength to snatch it, and Raffoni of Bardiani on the left took third. Congratulations were in order then for the winner of the competition, Dylan van Baarle, who became the second Dutchman to win, the other being Lars Boom. And the final overall general classification, Dylan van Baarle became the second Dutchman to win this tour, 10 seconds ahead of Kwiatkowski. Bradley Wiggins third at 22 seconds. Alex Dowsett, who'd been super aggressive throughout the whole of the race, settling for 8th position at 54 seconds. One of the best, if not the best, of all the Tour of Britain's, the 11th edition, the Friends Life race here that finally finished here in the City of London.